everyone, welcome back to Real Reds Talk, an authentic football fan channel dedicated to Manchester United. This is your preview for the game against Aston Villa at Old Trafford. We are dragging ourselves to the finish line, and hopefully that includes Champions League football when we get there. But we've got Aston Villa in the way who we need to get past tomorrow. On the show today, we've got Sam, Shreyas, and Chivy alongside me. Sam, first and foremost, good evening. Another game at home tomorrow. Another 3 points, do you think? Mike. Audio.
Fucking hell.
No.
I'm hungover, man. I'm not in the mood for this.
Right.
Not confident at all with this one, but we'll get into why and we'll get into how I'm feeling. It's going to be a tough game, this. Very, very tough game.
Yeah, fully agree with that. Chivy, give me one word to describe this game tomorrow.
Oh, man, I'm not looking forward to it, man. One word. Terrifying.
Shreyas, but we are coming towards the end of the season. It feels like the last kind of run of games now. What motivating words would you give to the lads for tomorrow's game? What would you say to him to get him pumped up?
It's about to end soon. Hopefully, new players are going to be coming in as well. And basically, you just need to carry on for a few fixtures now. They've worked really hard to get where they are right now. And it's not like we also need to like win every single game that we've got. And if from this point, if we are able to at least win our remaining 6 or 7 fixtures, basically, I think we'll be in a very, very comfortable position. But
did you say
once again, yeah,
you're optimistic, man.
Yeah.
No, that's how many games we've got left, isn't it? Is that what you were saying?
Yeah, I think we've got like 6 games.
I was including the FA Cup final as well.
Yeah. So you think we'll win how many, did you say?
This is something that I would tell to the team, not that something that would happen.
Oh, right, yeah. So motivation,
yeah,
of course.
Yeah. So, and I think where we are right now, I would even take, if we drop to the 4th position as well, but we still secure top 4, I think that would still be a big achievement for us. But if we drop down to 5th, then I think, considering where we were and considering how we were performing, I think it will be a big morale down for this team if we finish 5th.
Yeah, it certainly does feel like we're dragging. Sam, do you remember that guy who we was taking a piss out of saying he's the biscuit distributor?
Yeah.
Remember, I can't remember the guy's name, but he's going to be busy as fuck because I feel like these guys are going to need as many coffee drinks, energy drinks, whatever they can to get them going for the rest of the season. The energy is lacking from the last game.
I think at this point, we're just not even training, are we? It's just literally like play a game, get on the treatment table and the recovery and the oxygen tents and the ice baths. And then
everyone's just in the crypto, what they call the ice crypto chambers or something like that.
Just get on that because it just seems like if we do anything except play games, somebody's going to snap a cruciate, fall apart. Like it just... We are, like I said, we are the Terminator with our bottom half cut off, and we're just dragging ourselves, trying to get to the finish line, and it's not a glorious end to the season, but we'll get there in the end. But it's not fun to watch right now.
I know, and it's supposed to be the journey that makes it the best part as well, but it's tough at the minute. As always, people, make sure you are subscribing to the channel and smash a like on the video if you enjoyed the content. Shreyas will be live on YouTube from 1 o'clock tomorrow with team news and a live watch along, so make sure you jump in the chat, throw in some questions and let him know your opinions on the game. Now, as always, we have a little warm-up with the previews. This one's no different, so it's obviously related to Manchester United and Aston Villa. Who has more goal involvements, Ollie Watkins or Marcus Rashford?
I think Rashford's just got him beat, but I think Ollie Watkins has like rocketed up since the World Cup. I think he's been really good, but I think Rashford might just have him beat.
Chivy?
I'm just going to go Watkins because these both went Rashford.
Yeah. Ollie Watkins has 16 goals and 6 assists. Marcus Rashford has 16 goals and 5 assists. So there's only one more assist.
Just very, very
not far away.
Yeah. But it's...
I finally got one correct. Finally.
Yeah. Google's done all right for you there, hasn't it? Who has scored more goals as a team in the Premier League? Man United or Villa?
Villa.
I'm going to go Villa.
I'll go United because when did Gerrard get fired?
Yeah, of course.
When did he get fired? Is it September?
17th
don't know.
match day, 15th match day.
To be honest,
Well,
I don't care when he got
Because
sacked.
he was getting,
I'm glad he got
because
sacked.
they were getting battered every week, weren't they, in the the relegation zone?
Yeah.
So I think, and whereas we've had ups and downs, but for the most part we've been winning. So yeah.
The top 6. Yeah.
Manchester
So
United have scored
what's the correct-
48 goals. Aston Villa have scored 46. So 2 more goals as a team. Then the last question: who has a higher points per match, Erik ten Hag or Unai Emery? Good evening.
Emery.
Well, Emery as Villa manager or Emery? in
Yeah.
general? As Villa, okay. Points, probably Emery because he's been there shorter.
Shreyas?
I think so as well. Emery.
You're all wrong. Erik
Wow.
ten Hag has a better points per game. 2.20, played 54, won 37, drew 8 and lost 9. Unai Emery has a 1.91, played 22, won 13, drew 3 and lost 6. So there
Ten
is
Hag.
you warm up. Finished. Now the game tomorrow, people. I just want to start by saying there is a protest tomorrow, guys. I think they are meeting at the Nag's Head at 11:45, then heading down to Deansgate, onto Chester Road, stop at the toll gate, stop outside Must, and then onto Old Trafford, where they're going to boycott the game for 18 minutes, 1 minute for each year the Glazers have driven our club into the ground. So if you'd like to attend that and let your voice be heard as a United fan, then they are the details for you guys. What you be doing?
I'm saying I will be there because I'm going to the game tomorrow, so I will be there at the protest. So
Yeah. And we'll have some footage from there as well. Allegedly. That's the one.
No, we won't be on the pitch allegedly this time, Chivy.
Well, we'll see. We'll see how it goes down. We'll see what happens. The game itself tomorrow, guys, very difficult one in it. This is a team that's not long ago beat the informed Newcastle 3-0. Unai Emery has them compact, organised, hard to beat, and ruthless when they get their opportunities. The last away game they lost was Man City, and that was the start of February. So this will be a scrap of a game, especially because we're dragging ourselves through games at the moment, scraping wins or giving away leads in the second half, like we did against Sevilla and like we did against Spurs. I was mentioning it off camera before. I didn't realise how tough the run of fixtures was for the next few weeks. Whenever any team plays Spurs, Villa, and Brighton back to back, it's a tough ask for anyone. So we need to be on it, especially if we want top 4 Champions League. Shreyas, just in regards to, I asked you before about the kind of 6-7 games that we've got. We play Villa, Brighton, West Ham, Wolves, Bournemouth, Chelsea, and Fulham now. That's the last strip of games. How many games do you think we need to win out of them to kind of, cement top 4?
I think to cement top 4, we need at least 5 wins because Newcastle are playing really well. They're getting points quite, consistently. You've still got Spurs to worry out, who are still in 5th position. You've got Villa as well. I think Villa will be very pumped for tomorrow's game as well, because I think if they win, they are in, serious contention of maybe, making a late entry into that top 5 spot or top 4 spot. But I think if we want to be comfortable, like, actually maintain that 3-point cushion or a 2-point cushion over a team which is in 5th position or even in 4th position, and maintain our position as a third, as a team which might finish 3rd, I think we need to get like 5 wins.
Yeah, I think we're level. Aston Villa are level on points now with Spurs, aren't they? In the league, so it's a huge game for them. And speaking of Spurs, Chive, in the game on Thursday night, who impressed you in that game? Who maybe needs to be dropped without kind of going into your team too much?
Luke Shaw impressed me. Excuse me. I was most impressed with Luke Shaw during that game. What was the other question? Who goes?
Who worried you, or who needs to be dropped?
Casemiro worried me, but I think we have to just persist because we don't have any replacement, and just hope that he kind of gets back in. I know he had a slow start when he first joined, and I just hope this is just a slip and then he can come back in. But to be honest, the squad is so thin right now that it's hard to pick any of our starting 11 to drop, because everything that's coming off the bench hasn't been impressive since we made subs against the first leg against Sevilla, lost the game, made subs against Tottenham, and drew. Well, to me, I took that as a loss, but it was a draw. So it's really hard to pick from. I mean, what we have on the starting 11 is literally what we have, and that's what we can go with. We don't have Garnacho to call off the bench. We don't have I mean, if we maybe Anthony Martial, if we do the Rashford striking thing again, probably is the only thing on the bench that can make some significant differences. But yeah, we're stretched thin at the moment, even defensively. I think we've lost Varane till like the very end of the season. So I don't know, man. I don't know what. I really don't know what we can call up from the bench. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. It's hard, isn't it? Because it's not as if you can have much rotation either. We're kind of stuck at the minute.
We can't rotate, and I think I don't know if this question is going to come much later in the show, but I think this top four is going to be a struggle. But I mean, I'm just the only bit of hope I have is the fact that these other teams play each other. So Spurs is going to play Villa, and I think we're going to go. We might just make it based on the favors of others. Like, and I was saying to my friend yesterday, who's an Arsenal fan, I was like, when you play Newcastle, like, I will wear an Arsenal jersey.
Yeah. Well, it's any other team as well, isn't it? You look at all the other teams that they've got. Every one of them, you could lose games. It's kind of like the bottom half as well.
Yeah. So if we manage to just win, if we can take one win from Brighton and Villa, and then just allow the other guys kind of kill themselves a bit. Who knows, man? But it's time to just put on those final. I don't know, just pump them with steroids or something. Actually.
Yeah, something. Is it snooze? Is that what it's called? That nicotine that Jamie Vardy has.
Jamie Vardy has snuff.
Yeah.
Is it snuff? Or
snuff, snooze, something like that. Yeah. Give him some of that. Give him just absolutely pack him with caffeine. Me in at 6 o'clock in the morning. Give him the strongest fucking coffee you could possibly find.
For like an MMA reference, do you remember when Vitor Belfort came back and he was just fucking whatever he was on, give it to them. Give them that because he looked insane when he came back.
You see Maguire walking on the pitch just like that, body and everything. We've got a few people in the chat. Make sure you get your opinions in on this game, how you feel about it. Do you think it's going to be a very tough, scrappy one, or do you think United can get the job done? We've got Daniel Raj in the comments saying Villa can't, but we can. H2KOYT says Villa not getting top four. I don't think top four, but I think European football could be, potential for them, which we're going to discuss very shortly. Aaron is saying new graphics fire. Thank you very much. And he's saying we're stretched thinner than Avram Glazer's Barnet at the minute. And I think that is a perfect way to describe it. That thin. Yeah, absolutely bang on with that, Aaron. Sam, Chivy mentioned Casemiro when he was making his point then. Is he someone who's starting to worry you slightly? And what specifically is it you're noticing about his game that is worrying you?
He just doesn't seem on it, does he? Like, his passing is going astray. He seems afraid to tackle, or when he is tackling, it's not precise. He's sort of fouling. His mentality just seems really different. I know we discussed on the Spurs review. It's like maybe the fact that he's never had a red card in his career and he's had 2 and he's had suspensions at United. Obviously, they're both arguable, whether they are red cards or not. VAR this season's been atrocious, but that's a discussion for another day. I think psychologically there's something going on. I'm not sure if it is the red cards, if he's afraid of getting another one and that's affecting his game, because he seems physically fit. Like he's had more time off than most of our players. So I don't think he's tired. So I just think there's something psychologically going on that's affecting him. And I'm hoping if we just sort of play him through it, he'll gain confidence back and he'll get back to his normal self. Because when he is on it, he's one of the most important players in the team. But at the minute, he's more of a hindrance because he's not playing at his usual standard, which is like absolutely top of the line. And when we don't have our 2 first-choice centre-backs in Varane and Lissandro there either, it makes things doubly worse because then you haven't got that shield for this makeshift defenders who, to be fair to them, have done really, really well in Shaw and Lindelof. I thought they've been really, really good. But when it is a makeshift thing, you need that DM to be performing. Yeah. And he isn't right now, which, again, it's very hard to put my finger on it, but I do think it's psychological. I think there's something going on, and I'm not sure how we solve that.
Yeah, I like the point you make about important players as well, because we are without Lissandro, we are without Varane. And then the players that have kind of been carrying us had been Casemiro for a lot of the season. He's probably arguably our most important player. And another one is Marcus Rashford. Now, Marcus Rashford started against Spurs in the last game as a striker. This is just a question to all three of you. Would you start him there again with the qualities he was bringing for this game? Yeah.
Do we have a choice?
Well, I don't know. I'm not sure in terms of fitness whether Martial can start. You saw Vegors come on, but I think I'm going to know the answer to all your to what you are all going to say on that. Sorry, someone's just trying to ring me whilst I'm thinking. Yeah, so Marcus Rashford, a striker, absolutely nailed on. Yeah, that's the way you'd go for this game.
For me, yes, I'll start him as a striker. I'll bring Martial on later on in the game, but I'll just get Marcus like. I think if we start him as a striker and then he builds that confidence, maybe he gets a goal, you know.
Yeah.
And the thing about Marcus is when he gets a goal, he kind of just pushes on it, like he just carries on from that. And hopefully we can get him worrying, and then maybe if we take off Jaden or Anthony and then bring in Martial later or Vegos, I don't know. But
yeah, I think we need to change. Like we need to make sure we're making the right subs as well, because I thought. It was a weird decision to take Eriksen off against Spurs because I thought he was affecting the game. It was a weird decision to take off Anthony. I don't know why that. And then put Weghorst on of all people. It was a weird decision to take Wan-Bissaka off. I don't understand why like that. But it was just... And then every midfield, every change we made affected the team for the worst. So we need to make sure in Villa, if we're looking to change things up, that the substitutions are the right ones and they're not going to affect the team negatively, which they did do against Spurs.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of Villa, I was looking at the last 10 games before. This is unbelievable, by the way. They've won 8 and drawn 2 of the last 10. Yeah. Like they have been in some serious form. And as we mentioned, Unai Emery is doing a really, really good job. They're really pushing for European football, and one player who's been amazing for them, Shreyas, has been Ollie Watkins. Do you think he gets the respect he deserves? Do you think you could ever consider him for Manchester United? Do you think he can maybe move to another club in the top 4? Thoughts on him as a player?
The thing is, I think definitely, having someone like, since Unai Emery has come in, Ollie Watkins does look like a very charged player. He looks more involved in the game. Whenever he's on the pitch for Villa, he looks more involved. He looks, his presence is felt, during the course of the game. But I think before Emery came in, I think it was a tough time for Watkins at Villa. I think there was a lot of rotations with Danny Ings there as well. So I think there was a time when he wasn't really getting regular minutes as well. He was being used as super sub at, in certain games. So maybe I don't think he's the sort of player which Ten Hag would, readily look into. I don't think that he fits that profile. But probably, I think he might, if he plays his cards right, maybe he moves into a top 16 who would be, in search of a striker. Because I think, except for United, almost every single team have the striker positions pretty much fulfilled right now. We are the only ones who are genuinely going to be looking in for a striker next season. And
yeah, it's a good shot. Well, they got Nkunku. Yeah, Nkunku.
Are they going to play him as the striker? Is that the plan?
Well, it depends what system they're going. No one knows the fucking manager, do they? So no one has a clue what kind of striker they need. To be fair,
Lukaku's still a Chelsea player.
Yeah, completely forgot about that as well. To be fair, so
Aubameyang.
Oh my God, Jesus, what is going on there? That club is a mess, isn't it? Imagine, I know we've spoken about this, just imagine if they get relegated. Oh my God. It'd be insane. And
get the champagne.
Rip that contract up right now.
Get the champagne. Get the champampaign ready. I'd be fucking...
Is it actually possible, though, if they don't win any single game from now on, can they actually get relegated?
The points that they're on at the minute, I'm pretty sure they're on the same points as Palace, or Palace might have got above them now because they won today, didn't they? Yeah. Palace have just gone above them. They're on 39 points. 18th place Leicester are on 29. So 10 points ahead. So mathematically, if they keep doing it on the form that they're in, because they've lost, 5 games since Lampard's come in, or something like that.
Every single game since Lampard.
They lose the next couple of games, they are right in there. I'm talking the next 2 games, and they've got some tough... We've still got to play them as well, Chelsea.
They've got to play... Chelsea have got to play,
Have you seen the running? Chelsea's running.
That's what I was about to say then.
You've got Arsenal.
Top 4, aren't they?
Right, so they've got... Get on this. They've got, Arsenal...
That's a loss.
Forest.
That's a loss.
Man City,
That's a loss.
United,
That's a loss.
and Newcastle.
That's a loss. They're losing every single one.
Wow.
They're losing every
They
single
might-
one of those games.
I think
No.
against City they will.
They win against Arsenal. Let's just give them that. And then they can lose to everyone.
Yeah, that's what we want. Whether that'll happen or not is a completely different story. But yeah,
No,
Chelsea.
it's possible.
It is crazy.
Yeah,
Isn't
it is.
I'd like to see
Lampard
just,
just sat there like
just for laughs. I'd like to see
this
just
big.
Yeah. Just
Just
the,
for
the
laughs.
championship fixture list comes out next season, and Chelsea are going to like Luton Town and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Fucking
with
amazing.
like £700 million squad
Yeah.
playing against
I
them
would
for the
love to
first
see
time
that.
ever. Like
Nkunku-
parachute payments.
Nkunku coming to the championship.
Oh my god, crazy. But let's revert back to the game.
Yeah,
We've kind of got caught off guard a little bit
Yeah.
there. But yeah, in them 10 games that I mentioned about Aston Villa, they've only conceded 3 goals. So they've won 8, drew 2 in 10, and only conceded 3. How insane is that? And does that worry you, considering our lack of cutting edge in the past couple of games, not taking our chances?
Okay, so whilst you were saying those stats, like, yes, on paper and based on everything, realistically, that worries me. But I promise you, this would be a typical Man United thing. But over the years, like for all the years I've been supporting Man United, it's always this thing where we're coming up against some team and then they have this amazing record and we're like on our knees. And then they will come and get spanked, right? Or they'll just come and lose. I don't know why I just have that feeling where we'll just do a very Man United thing again and just go and just...
We're at home as well. We're at home as well.
Yeah.
We're at home.
We've
We're
done
at
this.
home.
If I really think we've done this so many times, we did it even when Chelsea were at like their heights under the Jose era. I remember there was one game, I think it was like a FA Cup or something, but there was a game where it was just like, oh, it's just they're gonna come and just kill us, and then we won. When Marcus Rashford had his debut, right, against Arsenal, we literally had like 4 academy players. We were dead. There was no one. Arsenal were flying. Right? They had this amazing, they were on a winning run or whatever, they came done. The 49 winning streak that they had when they had the 49 unbeaten game thing, who ended it? It was us. Like every time something, it's the most Man United thing ever. It's like I can't really say how we do it.
In a way, we did it this season against Barca as well. They were on the,
it's just
unbeaten streak as well.
Exactly. When we're on our knees, we just pull out some fugazi result from somewhere and just do it. So I can't go on anything like on paper. Like on paper, they look scary. They look, they're playing 1 game a week. We haven't had a week off since the 29th of December.
Well, that plays into it, right? They're going into that game.
So it's like when the odds are literally stacked up against it. I don't know why I'm saying this, even though it's terrifying. Like I'm not looking. I'm not looking forward to tomorrow. I'm not looking forward to it at all. I can just see us pulling off some silly result. Like a shameless 1-0. But I just hope, just to answer your question, yes, it does scare me. It's a very impressive stat that they have. They're on a really amazing run. I just want the boys to dig deep and just maintain that concentration, because we've shown that we can do it. Done it against Sevilla, done it against Tottenham. We managed to hold our resolve against Brighton because they controlled the game for large parts in the second half. We can do it. We can actually go ahead and beat Villa. We just have to pray that the boys just dig deep, have that resolve. I hope Erik ten Hag doesn't come around with those crazy substitutions, and just leave people in the game where we can just manage the game. Because literally, that's what happened against Tottenham. We just failed to manage the game. And that's literally, once we took out Eriksen and brought in people who can't keep the ball, who can't pass the ball, who are not able to control the game, to keep a calm mind.
Fred
Vegost, so
Fred Dost.
But I think we can do it. I think we can do it. I think we'll be able to pull it off.
I hope you're right. I hope you're right. In fairness, Sam, in our last game when we did play Villa, they had the surprise of the manager bounce, didn't they, with Unai Emery coming in?
Yeah.
Do you think Ten Hag will be ready for this one tactically? Because last time he kind of had nothing to go off, didn't he, going into it? It was just an all bit of a surprise. Like, obviously, you can watch Villarreal games and stuff like that and teams he's managed before, but it's a lot different with the profile they've got at Villa.
Yeah, they play a couple of systems, Emery. He does a 4-4-2 when he tends to go away from home, and they struggle to score goals when he plays that way, but they're quite resolved defensively. But then when he's at home, he does this 4-2-3-1 system, and they seem to like bag goals. Like Ollie Watkins has scored like most of his goals in that system. So it'd be interesting to see what they do coming to Old Trafford, because theory would dictate they do 4-4-2, try and keep it tight and then catch us on a counter or something like that. But if he thinks United are for the taking, obviously with our performances against Sevilla in the second half, against Spurs in the second half, a couple of Brighton in the FA Cup semi-final, he might go, look, let's just keep the first half like nice and tight, let's keep them out. Second half, they're going to collapse or they're going to like fall apart, and then we can just go in for the kill and take them out. That might be the way he's thinking. So if that's the case, Ten Hag needs to go, right, if they're going to come out in the second half, first half, we need to kill this game immediately. Yeah. Like, we need to take our chances, be clinical, 2-3, put it past them, so that if we do have that collapse in the second half, which we tend to have had for the last few games, we've got that cushion. Because if we don't take our chances in that first half, I could well see us on the end of a defeat in the second. I think that could be the pattern. So we need to be clinical in that first half. And I think if we get a win and a draw, so for Villa and Brighton, if we get a win and a draw, I don't care which way round, I think that's top 4 secure. I think we're good then. I think anything after that is a bonus, and then just concentrate on the FA Cup final against City and try and keep it a respectable 1-0 loss or something like that. So I think, a draw and a win out of these next 2 games, 4 points, I think we're top 4 secure, because I think we're far enough ahead of Spurs with a game in hand. We're far enough ahead of Brighton. We're going to have to play Brighton, so if we get a win or a draw, that takes them out as well. So I think, draw and a win, and I think we've got top 4.
Yeah, there's going to be points dropping left, right, centre, and there's 10 people in the chat. Make sure if you do agree with what a lot of the stuff that Sam said there, like I do himself, please let us know. If you're worried slightly about the energy kind of narrative, because we are dragging ourselves. Villa are very I watched them against Newcastle, energetic, hard-working, love to press in moments, and I just feel like David De Gea at the back, sometimes when he receives the ball, when teams go at him and press him, or some of the centre-backs that we have, Luke Shaw's not too bad, he's all right, but they do target our back line at times, and I feel like that is something that Unai Emery is going to do tomorrow. I think he's just going to press us in awkward moments and try to pinch the ball in certain scenarios and get a goal from that. So that is something definitely to keep an eye on going into the game. Now, just a quick update on the head-to-head record. In the last 5 games between both clubs, United have won 2, Aston Villa have won 2, and 1 was a draw. So literally 50-50 when you look at the past 5. And it seems like it's all to play for. It's going to be a very competitive fixture. And just before we do the quick-fire questions, an injury update. Garnacho is back in training. Do we think he's going to be available on the bench? I hope. I really hope he is.
I think Ten Hag said he's still training by himself. He won't be involved in team training, so he won't be around for Villa, but he might be available for Brighton.
That's gutting, man. That is someone who I would look to the bench, especially new contracts, got all this kind of fire behind him, momentum at the minute.
He's not going. He's not going to the Under-20s World Cup though, so that's good news for us.
That's a bright spot for us, of course. Big up to Garnacho. The usual other injuries that I don't need to get into. You all know who's out for the rest of the season. Don't need to mention that. But Aston Villa do have Matty Cash, Kamara, Philip Coutinho, and Leon Bailey out, I believe. I was looking at the injuries before, and these guys are out
By the way,
start of June.
That Leon Bailey is just constantly injured, isn't he? Like, he was injured at Bayer Leverkusen a lot, and I liked him a lot. I was like, he's just so injury prone. And he went to Villa, and then he's just been injured throughout his entire time.
Well, when he does play,
he's great. He's fantastic, but he's just injured all the time, man. He's so injury prone.
If he could stay fit, he's a serious player.
He's very good.
1v1,
very good.
He's dangerous as fuck. And every time we play against Villa, he always has a big say in it. yeah, with that in mind, everything we've spoken about, lads, quick fire questions. Tomorrow afternoon, Manchester United versus Aston Villa in the Premier League. Will both teams score?
No.
Yeah.
No.
That was a
He's
hard
not
one,
happy.
wasn't it? Okay,
He's
now.
not happy with
Yeah,
that at
yeah.
all.
Yeah.
Yeah?
No, I don't know. Choose one.
I'm asking you. I'm the guy who's asking the
I said
question.
yes or no. Just well.
Okay. Either way.
Chivy's so
On the
confused
fence.
about this game. He doesn't
Got
know what
splinters in
the
his
fuck
ass.
is going to happen.
Will Ollie Watkins score?
Yeah.
No.
One player you would draft in from any team for this game specifically.
Any team,
Any
has
team.
to- like any team from the Premier League.
Yeah, so if you're identifying this game, who's
Yeah.
one player you would bring in for this game specifically?
Harry Kane.
Okay. Erling Haaland, please.
Erling,
Just
yeah.
Come on,
A striker.
come on, outscore. Because
Just-
we will concede, right?
Just
So come
somebody.
on.
Somebody who scores goals for a living.
Just-
Harry Kane, Erling Haaland, whoever you want.
Messi.
Messi,
get
yeah.
Messi?
Just
Over
someone.
over Haaland.
I don't know. Who
Anybody.
else?
There you go.
Whoever scores
Neymar.
goals.
You can, you
Somebody.
know what, Javert? You can sit out if you want. If you don't want to do these quick fire questions, you can just sit out. Just let us know when you jump into the thing. and
Haaland.
everything else.
Haaland.
Okay. One player you take from Villa.
Ooh. Leon Bailey, if he wasn't so injury prone. I really, really like him. Moreno, the left back. Is he a left back or a right back?
Left
Yeah.
back.
He's very, very good. I think he's quality. I would definitely take a look at him. Yeah, one of them two.
I'll just go Jacob Ramsey. I think.
Solid talent. Good player. Shreyas?
I'd go Kamara. I think he could be a decent backup for Casemiro.
Hey, Sam's boy. I'm surprised you didn't mention him. Sam.
I fucking give up on it. Like I spoke about it for about 6 months, I think, and then it just didn't happen, did it?
Do Aston Villa get Europa League football?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think it's 5th place in FA Cup winners who get Europa League. Is that right?
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
it not
Yeah.
5th and 6th?
And I think if the winners do, I think the FA Cup, if the FA Cup winners qualify, then it moves to 7th as well, or 6th as well, something like that.
Sorry, I just had some breaking news there. Ineos valuation of United is higher than that of Sheikh Jassim's final bid. Could well prove significant. A preferred bidder expected in 7 to 10 days. That's from Mike Keegan. That's just come in. Ineos bids higher than Sheikh Jassim's. Okay. Anyway, sorry.
In terms of what? Like how much money they're offering up front, or
It just says Ineos's valuation of Manchester United is higher than that of Sheikh Jassim in final bid. Could well prove significant. A preferred bidder expected in 7 to 10 days.
but if he's doing the 50% and keeping the Glazers on, so is he paying more for 50%?
Yeah.
So if he would have bought 100%, it would have been worth more. Is that what?
Yeah.
No.
He's saying?
What Nick said was his valuation of the club. So it's not what he's paying. It's the valuation. Yeah.
It's what he values the club at.
It's what he values the club at. So basically, he's prepared to pay more. Apparently.
But he isn't paying the full 100% though, is he? So
No.
Yeah.
how's he going to pay more?
No, sorry. He sees it valued more.
Yeah.
Than what,
If Sheikh Jassim sees it for 6 billion, he's right now seeing it at 7, something like
Well,
that.
then if he's only throwing 50% in, then he's only
He's not
No,
paying.
no.
He's not done anything.
We're talking of valuation.
He's not paying anything right now. He's just valuing the club right now. He's not paying anything. He's just saying that he probably values the club at a higher value than what Sheikh Jassim actually
Yeah, so
values
what
it
I'm
at
saying
right
is,
now.
if that's the case, what his bid that he's putting in, it's not for 100% of the club. It's for 50, 60% in it. So will it be 50, 60% of what he values United at? If it is,
You never know. You never.
Yeah.
We can't.
it's a
really say.
minefield, isn't it? Anyway, it's a preview for Villa. I don't want to get too deep into that. It's fucking minefield. Last question of the quick fire, which has not been quick fire. It's been slow as fuck fire. Prediction for man of the match.
Prediction for Man Bruno.
Luke Shaw.
Marcus Rashford.
Thank you. Predicted 11s. Sam, do you want to kick us off?
Sure. I think it's going to be pretty much unchanged from the Villa game, from the Spurs game. So David De Gea, Wan-Bissaka, Shaw, Lindelof, Dallo, Casemiro, Eriksen, Bruno.
Yeah.
Rashford up top, Sancho on the left, Antony on the right.
Do we all agree with that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Happy days. So we've done the predicted 11s quicker than we've done the quick fire questions.
Yeah.
Blame Chivy. Chivy's fault.
This channel. Score predictions, people. Sam, same order. Does everyone think the same in there as well?
It's really tough, this one. It's really tough to predict. My head.
You know what? Before you get into it, I'm going to start doing a league with this, by the way, to see how close people get and do like a little points tally.
Yeah.
Just to start marking it up.
I think my head wants to say draw. It really does. I'm going to go 1-1, I think.
Get your comments in. Score predictions, people, if you're watching live or watching later on. What score will this game be?
2-0.
Shreya's going very positive. I like that. Who scores?
Because it's at Old Trafford. I think Bruno and Antony score.
I'll say Watkins and Rashford.
I'll go 3-1. And I think it'll be 2-1 for long periods of the game, and then we'll just kill it at the end, 3-1.
Okay. I'm not going to ask you for goal scorers. I think...
Please don't.
No. I'm starting to learn now. I'm going to say score, and do you think it's going to be the same team as what the other lads have said? And that's just how I'm going to go about it now. Score, yeah, I think we scrape a 1-1. Literally, again, scrape it. I think Bruno Fernandes and McGinn or something will probably get a goal. I hope Shreyas and I hope Chivy are right in this, because we do need to. If we get a victory over Aston Villa now, that does feel like it's cemented. I felt like we could have done it against Spurs, and if we would have won there, then we would have. Progression would have been nice. But if we even get a draw or a win against Villa tomorrow, it's not the end of the world. Top four would look more and more promising. That concludes the preview for today, people. Thank you for tuning in. Please do subscribe to the channel and smash like on the video if you've enjoyed this one. I mentioned the protest tomorrow. It's starting at I think it's the Nag's Head. As I mentioned, going into the... let me get the thing up before, because I don't want to butcher it.
Nag's Head, Deansgate.
Deansgate, then the toll gate, I think it is. Yeah, so you go from the Nag's Head at 11:45, heading down to Deansgate, onto Chester Road, stop at the toll gate, stop outside Moss, and then onto Old Trafford, where they boycott the game for 18 minutes.
Yep.
So if you want to be a part of that, have your voice heard, there's the details for you. And yeah, make sure you smash a like on the video, subscribe, and for up-to-date news on transfers, clips, all that jazz, make sure you drop us a follow on the socials. All the graphics are at the bottom. All the socials are at the bottom, sorry. And a big thank you to the lads for joining me on this one. Let's hope we get the dub tomorrow, lads. Do you have any final words before we leave?
Aaron Gregory saying 2-1 United, Lindelof and Rashford to bag. So
Lindelof? When's the last time Lindelof scored?
Been a while, hasn't it?
Against Brighton.
Not the penalty, obviously. From open play. I can't remember the last time he scored.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's been a while.
Wonder what the odds are on that. Anyway, yeah, we'll see you guys in the next one. Enjoy your weekend. And make sure you join Shreyas live for the watch along tomorrow from 1 o'clock with team news. Big up yourselves. In a bit. Peace.
Yeah.